morning, internets. It is a cold and windy morning, albeit sunny, in Las Vegas, Nevada today. And I want to talk to you guys about a little something that got my attention over the weekend. All right, so apparently Gillette made it a commercial. You ready for this? It came out last week, but I don't see things a lot of times when they first come out on TV because I don't watch TV during the week. I go to work and then I go home, I make dinner, and then I watch cartoons, and then I go to bed. So I'm not caught up on the latest commercial that's ruining America. And, well, Gillette made a commercial, and they have the slogan, Gillette, the best a man can get. And, you know, they make men's shaving products and men's general care products and all that good stuff. And they also make women's razors and all that crap. So anyway, they make this commercial, and it's like 1.5 minutes long or something. And I finally see, I see all these people on Twitter, and I see all these people on the internet losing their minds, like freaking the hell out. Ah, Gillette, boys will be boys. You can't attack manhood. Not all masculinity is toxic. Screw Gillette. I'm never buying a Gillette product again. And then there's dudes taking pictures of themselves holding their Mach 3s and Gillette shaving cream and other Gillette products, which are usually, you know, not cheap. And they're proudly taking pictures of themselves, throwing stuff away that they bought. Gillette already has your money, so I'm not sure what statement you're making there. I buy stuff and then throw it away without using it. That'll teach them. I don't know. So I'm like, all right, what is all the fuss about? What has Gillette done? So I go and watch the Gillette commercial, and what do I see? I see a message of, hey guys, we could be better, and maybe we should be. And it's like, what's honestly wrong with that? One of the things that I kept seeing was people kept, like, a lot of guys on Twitter in particular, Gillette, boys will be boys, let little boys wrestle. It's important. And in the commercial, they kept cutting to a couple of kids that were wrestling at a barbecue with their dads watching. And the dads were like, boys will be boys. And this one kid's kind of getting pummeled by the bigger kid. And then, you know, they keep showing all these examples of manhood gone wrong, of what happens when it's not okay, of, you know, men catcalling women that are walking by, of the mansplaining in the meeting. And that one got me in particular. I've been on my own, and I've been working for a very, 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 very long time. And I've had so many different jobs, and they show this one scene in the Gillette commercial with a room full of men and one woman, and they're all sitting in what is obviously some kind of board meeting, some sort of, they're doing business things, wearing business clothes and talking business talk. Like that's what we're meant to understand. And a woman gets finished speaking, and the man next to her reaches his hand over in front of her and says, what I think she meant to say was, and then, you know, they cut to the next thing, because the point that they were trying to make was, like, this is a douche thing that men do. And it got me, it made me laugh, because I was like, oh my God, is somebody finally noticing this? This has been going on for at least as long as I've been around. And, you know, further and further and further on back there, you know, my Grammy put herself through medical school as a single mom in the 60s. And some of the stories that she has told me about, you know, legitimate toxic masculinity that she has had to personally endure have been really, really ridiculous. I mean, physical assault was something that she could expect more or less on the daily. And that's just one tiny little facet of it. But, you know, just the daily disrespect and marginalization and abuse, and you know, it's faded. It's gotten a lot more subtle as time has gone on. But way back in the day when I was still a graphic designer, I'm going to name names and say things here. I worked for a grocery chain called Scolari's in Washoe County, and it was run by Joey and Jerry Scolari, who inherited it from their dad, Joe Scolari. And there were a chain of grocery stores, the Scolari's grocery stores, and there was one in St. Louis Obispo and one in Tonopah, and then the rest were all in like the Reno Sparks area. And then they also owned Sack and Safe. and I was responsible for designing and building the, you know when you get a grocery ad in the mail for your local grocery stores, and you take it out of the mailbox and you put it immediately into the trash without looking at it? It was my job. I spent 60 hours a week making those. This is so long ago that we were using a program called Quark. So any of my designer guys out there that have been in it for a while, I just said Quark and you went, ugh. Like, it later got absorbed into Adobe Suite. But anyway, I would go to the ad meetings every week, and I was the only woman there. And in fact, there was no, the only other women in the company who weren't checkers or grocery baggers who like worked on the administrative side was they had one broad in HR, and then they had everybody else was secretaries. They didn't have any other women doing anything. So like I was at their meetings with them every week, and they could not even. I had, God, I can't remember most of these guys' names at this point because they're just such non-entities. I think his first name was Nick, but I had Nick, the non-foods buyer, who would play footsie with me under the table. The men refused to learn my name. A lot of times would call me dear, darling, cookie, cupcake, little lady. Little lady. Yeah, that was a good one. Ugh. I'm rarely accused of being a lady, and I'm not all that little. I was... But like straight up Cookie. Cookie. Here, hand this to Cookie over there. She needs to see this. Like, ridiculous. And my name is Katherine. It's Katherine. It's Katherine. They'd call me Kate. They'd call me Kathy. I had a boss there who said, he would call me Kathy every day. My name's not Kathy. Some Katherine's shortened to Kathy, and that's fine. I've never been a Kathy. Don't call me Kathy. And I would tell him, my name is Katherine. It's not Kathy. It's not Kathy. He goes, well, my wife's name is Katherine, and she goes by Kathy, so it's just easier to call you Kathy, too. That was literally his justification. That was literally his fight. You are such a non-entity, woman, female, that I get to rename you in a way that suits me better. And that was just some shit I had to put up with. It was, and I would correct him every time, but he would continue to do it, and none of his superiors would do anything about it, and I was pretty young. It was my first job where I had my own office. I didn't know what the limits were. I didn't know what the boundaries were. And when I tried to complain about it, they made like I was the one who was crazy. Now, riddle me this: is that the best a man can get? And that was what they were talking about in the commercial, was this kind of base treatment of women and these lowered expectations for men. And you know, when the commercial takes a turn where the guy catcalling gets stopped by a friend, like, hey bro, not cool. Like, it's a call to action for men who are not pieces of shit to call out men who are. It was just, that's all it was. And there's a bunch of people on the internet losing their minds saying, Gillette is attacking me. If you feel attacked by that ad, if you feel like Gillette is personally telling you that you're a douchebag, it's probably because you're a freaking douchebag. These are not just man behaviors. These are behaviors that some men engage in and are continued to allow to be engaged in because they are men. Let's get that straight. These are not things that just come stock standard issue. This is not standard programming that comes with a cock and balls. Like, you don't just start out an asshole. First of all, someone has to teach you to be. And second of all, the rest of the world has to let you keep doing it. So if you're personally offended by the Gillette commercial, if you feel like you're marginalized, like it's attacking you, it probably friggin' is. And you probably need a little bit of attacking. You probably need to stop being a jackass. If you're mad that you can't go to work and grab asses and mansplain at or to professional women, if you're upset about that, if you're upset that we don't want children pummeling each other, that we want them to work out their differences in other ways, if you're upset about that, if you are really longing for the time, if you're nostalgic for a time in your childhood where you were allowed to physically dominate another child in front of adults and have them cheer you on for it, what you're nostalgic for is abuse. What you're excited about is violence. And what you're mad about is that your inherent gender superiority that you've been enjoying for a very long time is sort of coming to an end, and you're just going to have to get by on the merits of whether or not you're a decent human. And that's what you're mad about, is that you're just going to have to be a little bit better of a person now, that now we're watching that, okay, the next time somebody grabs my ass, I'm probably going to lay him out. The next time somebody mansplains to me, and nobody's gotten away with this in a very long time, but the next time that happens, I'm probably not going to let it slide. If that's what you're mad about, if you're mad that people like me, and not just women, I'm talking about everybody. If you're mad that people like me are no longer willing to tolerate your shitty behaviors, and that Gillette has made this, I mean, they make products for men. They, like, famously for years and years, for decades now, the slogan has been, Gillette, the best a man can get. And they have chosen to use their strength as a company, as a platform to send a message. First of all, terrific brand building on their part, because they are betting, you know what they're betting on? I'm in marketing. You know what they're betting on when they make that commercial? They are betting that far, far more people are going to be happy about that commercial than are going to be upset about it. They are betting that more men are real men than aren't. They are betting that more of their audience are decent than are indecent. And with all of the things like this going on these days and all of the messages being sent, I have this to say. They're right. There are more good people than there are bad people. No matter what the Daily News would have you believe, there are more people that are good than are bad. I firmly believe that. I also believe that a shitty person can change their mind anytime. You can. If you're one of those people that has been treating women a certain way, has been treating your fellow man a certain way, has been having really weird expectations for what being a boy is, and makes the excuse boys will be boys to justify and excuse horrifying behaviors. If you're one of those people, you can change your mind at any time. You can. You could just wake up and be like, all right, I'm not going to be that way anymore. And then you could put in the work to make a change. And that's fine too. And I'll celebrate you if you do that. However, if you choose not to make a change, your days are numbered. And I don't mean that as a threat. What I mean is your days of being comfortably accepted and excused are numbered. When, and I think it was a couple of months ago, I made a video I think the title was Let's Talk About Sexism, Warning Contains Profanity. And I cursed a lot in that one because I was really upset. But that dude that told me what I should be wearing and what color it should be and about what color my hair should be and you're a really pretty girl, but, and that wanted to come completely unsolicited and mansplain at me who I should be, what I should look like, and how I should be in order to suit his purposes better and suit his expectations better. That guy was supported by a bunch of people who were like, oh, he's older, you know how they are. That's what we're saying. That's limited. Those days are numbered. The number of people willing to make excuses for you is dwindling rapidly. I'm not one of them. And I have not had my hand in raising 3 people who are going to be one of them. They're not. My daughters are not going to take your crap, and my son's not going to dish it out. And he's not going to watch anybody else dish it either. If you're offended by the Gillette commercial, oh my God, please hit me up in the comments down below and please let me know. Am I way off base here? I really want to know what y'all think. Just throw it down in the comments down below. And if this had an effect on you, if this made you feel any kind of way at all, I really want to know, like, what was your impression of this? You think it's a good thing? You think it's a bad thing? I know this isn't car related, but my audience, I have my demographic information. YouTube gives me that. My audience is over 95% men. I know that the people watching this right now are men. I love men. I adore men. Men are some of my favorite people. I am comfortable in the company of men. I always have been. I don't have anything against men. I'm not a man hater. I'm a douchebag hater. And there's lady douchebags too. And I don't enjoy their company any more than I enjoy male douchebags' company. The problem is that we live in a society that is patriarchal. It is still kind of a man's world. And when you're a douchebag and you're a dude, it comes with certain privileges, and you're far more likely to get away with it than a woman is. And not only are you likely to get away with it, you're likely to be rewarded for it. You're likely to have your position in life, your position in society advanced for being an asshole. And that's something that I can't say. And it's something that shouldn't be true. And nobody gets a free pass from me anymore. And I wish a lot of other women would join. These dudes who are walking around like, oh man, with the Me Too movement and this and that, and oh, I'm scared to even talk to a woman anymore. That's what you're scared of? You're scared to talk to a woman anymore? Can't even compliment a woman anymore. Yeah, because that was on your list of things to do, was to compliment us. That's what you're scared of? If you're scared of somebody pointing a finger at you, it means that you have something to be scared of. Because my husband's not worried about that. My father-in-law's not worried about that. My dad's not worried about that. My brother, he's not worried about that. My son, he's not worried about that. Because there's nobody to point a finger at them because they're just decent people. If you're worried about being taken the wrong way, maybe don't say that. Whatever that thing is. If you're worried about it. Because chances are, on some level, you understand that it's not funny. Or that it's not appropriate. If you find yourself constantly, I apologize if I was inappropriate. If you find yourself constantly apologizing like that, you're probably being freaking inappropriate. You should probably stop it. Not really sure how to wrap this up. I'm aggravated and I'm angry that so many people are so aggravated and angry. And I know that's kind of exhausting, but I feel exhausted. Like when I open my phone and I'm going, oh, how's the internet doing? They're all losing their minds because a corporation said, hey, maybe we don't have to be violent, sexually harassing, toxically masculine D-bags anymore. And maybe we should be nice to each other. Like a company said that and attached their name to it. And they had the balls to do that and attach their name to it because they knew it was going to help sell razors. Hey, guess what I did over the weekend? I went and bought 2 packs of Gillette razors. If it's the best a man could get, it's good enough for me. And it was a good call on their part. But a bunch of people freaked out, crapped their pants about it, wanted to whine, boo-hoo. And it's still hilarious to me when I see the word snowflake used by a friggin' snowflake, by somebody just melting. When you see, oh, these snowflakes this and these snowflakes that, you're the one freaking out. You're the one losing your mind on the internet. You're the one who got your feelings hurt by a commercial. Who's a snowflake now? Snowflake? Kind of how I feel about that. It's just so freaking stupid. It's a marketing campaign that was designed to make you feel something, and it worked. And now we're all talking. Hell, I'm helping them talk about it. Good job. But when you go and you freak out on the internet and you say that I'm going to boycott this company or hashtag boycott Gillette, when you keep saying their name over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, you've completely met their purpose. You've completely met their expectations about you. And you've helped them along the way because you've repeated their brand. So, keep up all the boo-hooing and all the whining. And if I got any snowflakes that just want me dead for everything that I just said, please let me know in the comments down below. I love that shit. I eat haters for breakfast, and I shit excellence. So, I guess I'll put up a disclaimer about this one containing profanity, too. But god damn, sometimes some shit is so dumb, you just gotta say it's just super dumb. Just super, super dumb. And when people are being shitty, sometimes there's not another word. It's not like, I can't use the word unpleasant all the time. It's just shitty. So, that's what I had to say today, guys. All of my men out there, all my good fellas, all my good dudes, let me know what you think in the comments down below. These societal norms that are changing, these things that we're starting to see, these pieces of media that are coming out, and I know this one was designed to sell us razors and shaving cream, but it's still something. It's still culturally important. These things that are happening, do you feel threatened? Do you feel upset? Do you feel personally marginalized? Do you feel worried? I really do want to know in the comments down below. I know I made fun of the D-bags out there, but like, you decent dudes, please let me know. Like, how is this affecting you? How is this changing your life? How does this... and you fathers of daughters. You fathers of daughters. What do you think? What do you think about the world and the direction it's going right now? Whether you have grown women like me, or you have little girls like my granddaughter. How do you feel about the world? And do you think these are changes that need to happen? So I'm really interested in what those men have to say. If this is your first time on the channel, thank you so much for watching. Please consider subscribing right over here. Here's some other things I think you'll enjoy right down here. My name is Katherine. This is EVs of Nevada. Please remember to like, subscribe, and smile. Even when there's haters. Because haters gonna hate.